Hey everybody, it's your girl Tennessee North. Yeah, I'm here with a video. Uh, this video is it's kind of something from my past, but it's kind of hard to explain. Um, there's a recipe that Tennessee North has been trying to hunt down for some years now. Sorry about that noise. That was the air conditioning unit. I'm sitting outside. It's nice outside. I've been trying to hunt down this recipe. And it's been puzzling me for quite some time. It's something that my mom used to make when I was a kid. And I have asked around and looked up and hunted and had not found exactly what I'm looking for. And it goes back to say that when we're kids, we need to pay attention to what our parents and our elderly people or our grandparents are trying to teach us. And I wished I had have paid attention to my mother's recipes. Well, this particular recipe, I was beginning to think it was a fig of my imagination. Maybe I dreamed it up, and I thought, no, I remember this recipe. And then I thought, maybe I'm calling it by the wrong name. I was calling it a cobbler because it was sweet, and I could never find it. There was a lady from my church who was a good friend of mine. She passed away a couple years ago. And she was in her 90s. But I mean, this lady had energy to beat the band. You would have thought she was probably in her 60s. And she had a bout with cancer. And she lost her battle a few years ago. She kind of sort of knew what I was talking about, but not really. So I've been asking around different people who I thought might have remembered. My sister, she knows what I'm talking about, but she couldn't remember what was in it. She didn't like it. And so I've been just playing around. So to make a long story short, so for the last 4 or 5 years, I've been trying to find out what this recipe was. So the other morning, I was laying across my bed, and I was talking to my sister from Memphis, and somehow we got on the subject of tomatoes. And I said, I'm still looking for that recipe. And so while I was flicking the channels, the YouTube channels, I said, it's not. I said, let me put in casserole. So I put in tomato casserole, and I had all these different things came up, tomato this and tomato, and I said, no, that's not it. That's not it. So I got up and went to the bathroom, and I heard this lady talking, and I came back in, and I said, that's close. That's close to what I'm looking for. This is what I've been looking for. It's not exactly, but I mean, it's close. It's close from, I'm trying to rack my brain from a child memories. So I know what it tastes like. And so this tomato casserole. Now, what I'm thinking my mom must have done was made her version of it. She didn't call it a casserole. She called it something else. And she made her version of it. So, now, I'm thinking, I'm not going to find the recipe because it was her recipe. Her version of this tomato casserole. And, I think that's it. There's a recipe for something, and I think my mom created her own version of this. So I'm not going to find my mother's version. But these ladies, they were close to what I can remember. It didn't quite look like hers, but it was close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tweak it from memory. I couldn't remember how they got it started. I knew it had bread in it, and it was sweet. It had sugar, and had tomatoes in it. But, I have messed with it a few times, put a little flour in it, and it wasn't it. And I did a lot of little versions. It wasn't it. Tossed it out. Tried to make it like a cobbler. It wasn't it. But I remember it had bread in it. So, if somebody out there knows this recipe and knows a version of it, send me your version. So this video today is going to be my version of a memory that I had from when I was a child. I can't remember what the video of the ladies was that hit somewhere near it. I can't remember their names, but it was close. It was a casserole is what they were calling it. And it didn't look like my mom's, but they were hitting somewhere near it. And yeah, the only thing I can think of it is my mom made her own version of it. That's why I can't find it. And my mom was good for making up stuff. She made a casserole one time, and oh my God, it was the best casserole. And she made a big one. It was the best casserole you have ever put in your mouth. And some time went on, and the whole family, cousins and family and friends said, can you make that casserole you made? And my mom said, what casserole was that? And she said, you know that casserole it had cabbage in it, and it had ground beef. And my mom said, oh, I was just cleaning out the refrigerator. What? That was the best casserole you have ever put in my mouth. Oh my God. And all she was doing was cleaning out the refrigerator. And she made up a casserole. Isn't that something? So this tomato, whatever she called it, might have been that. I saw on these videos a tomato casserole was what these ladies was calling it. A couple ladies had pureed the tomatoes, and I know that wasn't it because hers had bits of tomatoes in it. And then there was a couple ladies who had some tomatoes in theirs, but theirs wasn't quite, it was kind of dry, and hers wasn't dry. It was like a peach cobbler. So I think it was her version of whatever this recipe is. So what Tennessee North is gonna do, I'm gonna try to make it from memory of when I was a child. So I guess it's not gonna be a wrong way. It's gonna matter if it tastes good. I don't know. And I don't know what to call it. Is it a cobbler? Is it a casserole? I don't know. I could have sworn my mom called it a pudding. So. And she served it as a side dish as well. So I'm gonna just, this video is gonna be about this tomato whatever. And I'm just gonna fry some chicken legs and maybe open some green beans. Just to kind of put something with this tomato whatever. So, if y'all have ever had tomato whatever, casserole, pudding, cobbler, if you ever had it, leave me a comment. Tell me about yours. I'm not gonna tell you yours are wrong. You probably tell me mine's wrong, but you know what? Hey, I'm either gonna eat it or I'm not gonna eat it. So, come along with me. It had bread in it. Yeah, just come on along with me. We'll see what we're gonna do. Okay, we're gonna put our green beans on first. Just gonna open one can of these, just to get them started. So we're gonna put these on. I'm gonna pour the juice off the can. And these are some Italian green beans. To this, I'm going to add some onions. That's right, I'm going to add some onions. Like so. Purple top. onion powder, and a little garlic powder. And a little salt. I'm gonna put some water in this and I'm gonna put it on the stove. Hold on. Now I have my oil on because I'm gonna start frying the chicken while I'm working on this. So right here, got some flour. I'm gonna add some cornstarch to it. That's gonna help with the crunch. Add a little of the purple top to it. Black pepper. Paprika. Paprika for the color. Just add a little color to it. Put a little onion powder in it too, garlic powder. These are always your go-to. More garlic powder. Okay, let me stir that up. Okay, hold on. Okay, got our oil here. Got my seasoned flour. My seasoned flour all mixed. And on my chicken, I put a little touch of love. You know, I always put it directly on the meat. You can see there's some touch of love on the meat. I like to put it directly on the meat. We'll get our chicken going. I've already got my oven preheated. I'm doing chicken legs today. Something simple. Just trying to do something to go with this tomato whatever. Get a few more pieces. We're not going to crowd it. Put one more piece in there. Let that dip. Okay. Okay. Now, I do remember this thing having bread in it. It was bread in it. So I think it was white bread or biscuits or something like that. So I'm going to use a French loaf. I'm not going to do a big one, so I got the smallest casserole dish that I had. I'm just going to make a small one. Yeah. So if it's a failure, it won't be a big one. So I'm going to use about, let me start out with half of this loaf here. And I'm going to mix it in this bowl here. Since the casserole dish is small. So I'm going to cut this bread up. And it seemed like she tore it up. This is kind of thick, so I'm going to kind of rough chop first. Then I'm going to tear it up. And this bread is kind of dense, so it'll soak up real well. I bought it a couple of days ago, so. I'm just thinking if it's like a bread pudding, it don't need to be too fresh. I'm thinking that's about enough. Let me get a little more, just a little more piece off of it, not much. Yeah, I just have a small casserole dish. I'm gonna let that do. Okay. And I have a 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes. Let's start with that. I have 2 of them. You know, it had a lot of juice in it, like I would be putting peaches in if I was making a cobbler. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pour the juice and all in here. Now from here, it doesn't look like enough. I'm going to use the other can too. Hold on. Let me check on my chicken. Okay. I'm going to use the other can of tomatoes as well. And I could go over there and get the electric one, but I'm just gonna keep on with this one. So I'm not doing that much. Now it was buttery, so I have some melted butter here. I'm going to pour this in. Now I'm going to add some cinnamon and nutmeg in it. Let's go with some sugar now. It was sweet. So I'm going to go with, this is a half a cup. And I don't think that's going to be enough. So I'm going to go with a cup right now. Hold on. Let me check my chicken. Can't see milk on burn no chicken. Hold on. Okay, back here with these green beans. I'm going to add a little chicken bouillon. Just a little bit. And I'm going to add a little oil from my fried chicken. Okay. Gonna take up my first batch of chicken. Yeah. Let me get my next batch down. I'll be back. Okay. Then took our first row of chicken out. And back to this tomato. I kind of tasted a little bit. It's a little sweet. And it wasn't overly sweet, but it was sweet. It seemed like it had more juice in it. But I'm going to put everything sugar. Just a little, not a whole half a cup. So, I'm going to treat this thing like a cobbler. So I have more than I need. So I'm going to dish it up and then see what I got here. And I don't want it to overflow. I'm going to take a little bit out. And this is what it's working on. So one of the ladies did put some butter on top. And I normally put butter, sugar, and a little cinnamon on top. I'm going to do that for this one too. Because Mom had a little crust on hers. Now how I got like that, I don't know. I'm going to try it. So I'm going to put some little patch of butter on top. What I would do if it was a cobbler. I'm going to shake some cinnamon. And a little nutmeg over the top of it. As if it was a cobbler. That's what it's looking like. I'm going to put it in the oven. See what I get. Yeah. Hold on. Okay. The meal is finished. The fried chicken. The tomato. Or whatever. Green beans. And cornbread. Hot sauce. And ginger ale. Let me speak to the Lord. Okay. Let's see if we can get this in here. Let's find out. It's sweet, but it's not as sweet as hers. It's still missing. Still missing. It's sweet, but it don't have that crust on top like hers did. I'm not gonna give it to Tracy eye. It's back to the drawing board. I think I'm gonna use light bread. Yeah, I think I'm gonna use the light bread next. It's something missing. I'm not sure what she did. The green bean, they're good. Hot sauce on the chicken. Something missing. If you know what it is, leave me a comment. I ain't gonna stop till I get it. Maybe I didn't cook it long enough. You know anything about this recipe? or something like it, leave me a comment. It's something I'm missing. I ain't gonna stop till I figure it out. I don't know what she was doing. What you could have put in it. I ain't got it yet. I'm gonna get it. Yeah, I'm gonna get it. The chicken. Mm-hmm. Hold on. Okay. I didn't looked at it, and I studied, and I knew when I was mixing it didn't look the same. I don't know if it's the bread or the tomatoes. So, this video, still a mystery. Hadn't figured it out. Something's missing. Not gonna stop till I figure it out. This is where you need to pay attention. Because you're gonna need this later on. You're gonna wish you had her. I wished I had her. Paid attention. Yeah. He took that cookbook that was etched in their mind with him. Yeah, what a wonderful thing it is. Well, I'm going to come back with another video on how to create this dessert or casserole or cobbler or whatever it is. I'm going to figure it out. And if you know, leave me a comment and tell me what it is I'm missing. Like, share, subscribe. Leave me them comments. Tell old Tennessee North. If you know how to make that, tell me. Hit that notification button so you know the next time I'll be back. And I will be back. It's about, this video is about Tomato, whatever. You tell me. Bye now.